Good evening chat. It's your boy, Nishi. Sorry this video is coming out late. It's not my fault though, so if you're gonna point fingers, blame the Jews.
What the fuck did you just say?
God damn it, Israel. What more do you even have to gain? But in some seriousness, I think whatever I was smoking when I made this concept was top tier. I need to hit the plug and get some mo, cause this might be some of my best work for real.
Ain't that right?
If you remember from the first part of this series,
or even watched it,
we're gonna be going over another Subway Surfer power-up that I was able to turn into a JOJO'S Bizarre Adventure stand, complete with intricate lore and all. You can't even tell me you can find this type of content anywhere else on YouTube, so just go ahead and subscribe. And if you can tell me one other person posting these type of ideas, put his channel in the comment section so I can steal that ninja's ideas. Either way, let's dive into this elite maffican concept. Tricky Fairchild. Stand user of Superstar. Born with a spotlight she never asked for, Tricky Beatrice Fairchild was born with her stand. Not awakened, not inherited later. It was there from the beginning. When she cried as a baby, the room felt twice as loud as when the other babies cried. When she kicked, nurses swore she kicked twice as hard. Her mother called it ADHD. Doctors called it nothing. They were all wrong. Superstar was already running in her blood, flickering on instinctively whenever she felt cornered, humiliated, or angry. Age 6. The first fights. By 6, Tricky understood one thing very clearly. The world saw her as small, fragile, and easy. Kids shoved her. Older boys mocked her. Teachers told her to be quieter. The first time someone shoved her into the dirt and laughed, something clicked. She didn't activate Superstar on purpose. She didn't even know what it was. She just hit back. And the punch landed wrong. Too hard. Too fast. The other kid flew backward like gravity had made a mistake. From then on, scraps followed her everywhere. Not because she liked fighting, but because people kept underestimating her. And her stand punished that assumption twice as hard. The bruises on her knuckles would heal, but the bullying didn't stop. The ballet cage. Her mother had a dream. Grace. Elegance. A daughter on stage. Adored and applauded. Ballet became mandatory. To Tricky, ballet felt like a cage pretending to be art. Every movement demanded control, restraint, softness. But Superstar doesn't understand restraint. When Tricky danced, she jumped too high, spun too fast, landed too hard. Teachers called her undisciplined. Her mother called her ungrateful. The cruel irony? Ballet taught her timing, balance, and body awareness. The exact skills she would later need to survive. Age 12. Meeting Jake. Jake didn't see a weak girl. He saw someone fast. Someone reckless. Someone alive. They met near the tracks. Paint on Jake's hands. Bruises on Tricky's knuckles. Where fighting had been reaction, graffiti became choice. Tagging trains. Running rooftops. Jumping gaps that made normal people freeze. For the first time, Tricky used Superstar on purpose. Short bursts. Half seconds at a time. A doubled leap. An extra hard landing. A perfectly timed escape. Even when she failed, it's like when she'd get up she'd be twice as strong as she was before. Jake never asked how she did it. He just laughed and ran faster. But patrolling their favorite tracks was a security guard. A guard named Ted Looks. Always angry. Always watching. Always chasing them like it was personal. He knew the trains better than anyone. He knew when cameras were down. He knew which cars never got checked. When Tricky looked at him, Superstar always itched. Like the stand was warning her. Age 17. The murder. The train was dead on the tracks. Perfect canvas. They were halfway through tagging when voices echoed from the next car. Tricky and Jake heard an argument. A threat. Just as they snuck over towards the commotion, they heard a gunshot. They saw everything. The guard standing over a body. Blood pooling under fluorescent light. Words muttered through clenched teeth. Nobody scams me. I get my money one way or another. They ran. But not fast enough. The frame. By morning, their names were everywhere. Security footage edited. Eyewitnesses paid. Drugs planted in places only the guard knew. The truth didn't matter. The guard had cartel money. Police on payroll. Friends in places Tricky didn't even know existed. Jake's parents panicked. Tricky's mother cried. Not for her innocence, but for her future. Jake's parents sent him a voicemail saying that once they find him, he's going straight to military school. The news said that once Bonnie and Clyde were caught, they would be trialed for murder. Runaways under a timer. Now every chase is different. The cops want arrests. The guard wants silence. And Superstar, it demands commitment. Every activation could save them, or ruin everything. A double jump clears a train, or shatters her leg. A double punch drops an enemy, or exposes her position. Every mistake costs twice as much. And when the glow fades, when the scars vanish, the world slows, her body screams, and the spotlight moves on. The goal. They don't want revenge. They want proof. A ledger, a shipment log, a name that breaks the system wide open. Any sort of evidence that can prove their innocence. And expose tech. Because Tricky knows something now. The world only listens when you shine bright enough. And when she hits that 2 times, she makes damn sure everyone is watching. Now it's time to go over her Stan's Requiem form. So don't click off the video just yet. And stop digging in your butt, twin. I can sense it. Superstar Requiem. The spotlight doesn't split, it multiplies. Core Requiem ability. Double act. When Superstar Requiem is activated, Tricky creates one autonomous clone of herself. This clone is physically identical to Tricky, possesses the same skills, instincts, and personality, has access to Superstar's ×2 amplification, acts independently and can fight, move, and strategize on its own. It is not an illusion or decoy. It is a real physical presence. Key distinction. Damage to the clone does not transfer to Tricky. Pain, injuries, and exhaustion are not shared. When the clone's time ends or it's destroyed, Tricky continues normally. This makes the clone a true second combatant, not a punishment engine. Time limit and cooldown. The clone exists for 10 to 15 seconds max. It benefits fully from ×2 amplification during this window. When time expires, the clone dissipates instantly. Clone cooldown. While the clone is cooling down, Tricky can still fight, run, and act normally. She can still use her base skills, but she cannot create another clone for at least as long as she used it. This keeps momentum without letting her spam Requiem. How this plays in a fight. Tricky plus clone equals overwhelming pressure. Enemies must split attention. Clone can take reckless risks Tricky wouldn't. Tricky can play safer or set up the kill. When the clone disappears, the fight doesn't end. The tempo shifts. Visual symbolic effects. The clone forms from starbursts and 2 symbols tearing outward. Both have glowing yellow eyes. Subtle, not blinding. Clone's glow is slightly brighter, like it's burning faster. The battlefield feels like a live performance at peak volume. Then suddenly, silence. 1 Tricky left. Thematic payoff. Base Superstar asked, can you handle being twice as much? Requiem asks, what happens when the world has to face you twice at the same time? Okay gang. So that was the end of the video. I feel like this one is some of my best work out of everything in my, admittedly, short career. I feel like after I introduce a couple more stands, I'll turn this into a series on the channel, and we'll have our own little JoJo spin-off. Like the video if you like the sound of that idea and if you're excited for more of this series. Subscribe please. I know that the G's are moving the strings so this doesn't get to my target audience.
What? It was a joke. I just... What? Nobody here's Jewish, right? Gee, I don't know.
Are you Jewish?
But it's okay. I'm thankful and grateful for everyone who does support and show love. Thank you everyone who comments as well. I read every single one and take them into consideration. Love you all. Deuce.